Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is it Wednesday already? October 5th? Oh my Lanta, time marches on yet again. I am off. So this morning I'm headed to KITECH, and then Jerel and I are headed out to Nelson Metal. Nelson Metal does a lot of our metal fabrication, conveyor work, conveyor build outs, stuff like that. And it is run by Jerel's brother. And so it's out in Payette. We're going to be headed out there. And I'm planning on talking to Jerel about buying KITECH and pitching my whole idea to him, figuring out a price, and then we can start working on getting funding for it, which I think is super cool, which would help everybody out. So we're going through that. And then my hope in telling Jerel is that I can enlist him to help enlist his brother to be a subscriber to the National Tax Strategy Education Program. And then the whole team at Nelson would become a part of our tax strategy team. So that's on the docket for today. It should be a boatload of fun. So last night I read an article about how with creating content, you have to talk to someone. You have to have an avatar, a specific target for who you're creating content for. And I thought that was a really interesting concept. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized everything in life depends on what game you're playing. So I believe time is the true currency of the world, and I believe businesses are nothing more than a box designed to collect and monetize time. And if that is the case, then when it comes to creating content, the whole goal is to collect time, right? But whose time? And what content who are you creating that content for? With America's holding company, my goal is to collect my own time and document that time for myself. So I am my ideal target. I am my ideal client. I am the reason I do all of this. And so I think that it was really interesting thinking about it, processing it last night, because it all comes back to time. And whose time do you want to collect the most of in life? Your own. I believe true wealth comes from owning your time. That's it. Can you do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it? And so that's why I create all my content, is for me. And it was really ironic, even before I read that article yesterday, I was looking through my blog and I went back a year, because I've been documenting, doing these daily journals for like a year and a half. I've posted. So I started posting daily probably like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. But before that, I posted off and on. So I was looking at the September from 2022 journal entries. And that's when at the time I worked at Datatel. And I was trying to explain my vision there at Datatel. It did not, it's funny, me and Jerel hung out last night after work, and I talking about how working at Datatel just wasn't a good fit for me because their business model is designed for people to come in and build their own business within the Datatel business. There wasn't systems, there wasn't processes, there wasn't training, there wasn't teamwork. It was all on your own, which is fine. But the reason I wanted to be a W-2 employee and have become a W-2 employee is specifically because I want to be on part of a team. I want to work with other people. I don't want to build my own business within someone else's business. So as a business owner, and what we were talking about last night was as a business owner, if you don't understand what your employees want out of life, how can you build an environment that gives it to them? Because your job as an employer should be to find the best talent there is and help them build a life they love with you a part of it. You don't have to. You don't have to take care of people. But if you don't take care of people, you'll never know if they're even thinking of leaving. That's how you get people who give in their 0-day notice, right? It's because you don't care. And I think that's one of the things small businesses have to offer that corporations don't. Small businesses care. It is much more relaxed working at a small business versus corporate because it's not standardized, because it's not templatized. So if you want your small business to be successful, I would highly recommend looking at how can I take care of my people in such a way that they want to stick around year after year after year. I mean, it goes back to talk about pensions and 401ks and retirement over the last 70, 80 years and how much has changed. Yes, a lot of that was pulled out to increase the profit of the shareholders. I think what we're going to see as time progresses is that people want to support companies that support their people. People want to work with companies that support their people and go out of their way to take care of their people. That's one of the reasons I love Costco as a business model is freaking awesome. It's all about taking care of both their employees and their customers. Like they really do a fantastic job of taking care of their people. That I believe that's why they're so successful as an organization. They're not focused on, can I make all the profit? They don't want to take all your money. They just want to be a part of how you spend your money, which is what every business wants. So I think going into life and business with that mindset of how do I take care of my people? How do I give them the life they want to live by being part of my team? That's where I think employee retention rests. So it was a fun conversation. But when it comes down to niches, though, you got to know who you're targeting. And that's the great thing about playing the game based on time instead of money. I'm targeting myself, and I'm winning. In the game I play, I'm winning. do you know the game you're playing? And are you winning? I mean, it's a simple question, but it's a big question. Another thing Jerel and I were talking about is last night was strategic plans. And I told him a little bit about my strategic plan. And if you don't have a strategic plan for how you're going to invest your time, I think it's absolutely silly to save for retirement. Because in my mind, what you're saying is, I don't know what I'm going to do with this money in the future, but I hope I'm still alive for it. When in reality, you could be using it now to create the memories you want during life. We're going to McCall, not next weekend, but the weekend after. And we're doing it because Scarlett's 10, Tristan's 8, Nora's 6. Before long, they will all have their own activities. They will all have their own friends. They will all have their own things going on. In 10 years, our youngest will be 16. We do not have very long together as a family. We just don't. That's how life works. And it's not a bad thing. It just is. And so I think prioritizing how you want to invest your time from today to retirement is much more important than prioritize saving for retirement for when that gets there. Because just saving for retirement means you're going to sleep past between here and there. No, that's silly. That is silly. You need to enjoy life. You need to live life while you have it. Dying rich is not the goal. At least it's not for me. So I hope you have a plan. I hope you have a strategic plan for how you want to invest your time. And live that plan today. We all have to make money throughout life. Even when you're retired, you still have to pay attention to your funds. So I want to encourage everybody. Look at your plan. Build a plan. Think about your plan. How are you going to live life? How are you going to show up? How are you going to provide for your family? What do you want your spiritual life to look like? What do you want the impact you leave on society to look like? What do you want your personal growth to look like? What are you going to do to make it happen? To me, that's what a strategic plan is. It's about understanding where you want to go. And life is about the journey to get there. It's not about being there. Like people save for retirement, I think it's silly because at the end of the day, I believe we want to add value to society in the way we like to add value. You cannot convince me that grandparents taking care of grandkids, being babysitters, and all that stuff doesn't help society. It's how knowledge and understanding is imparted to the next generation. It provides couples an opportunity to get away, maybe for a date or maybe for work or for whatever reason. We all add value to society. Have you ever had someone stop and help you for no reason except they want to stop and help you? Society is all of ours, and we all add value to it without being monetized for it. A lot. Especially if you expand the time horizon over a lifetime. We're all on the same team. So build a life around how you want to invest your time, rather than building a life around saving for retirement. Not saying saving for retirement's bad. I just think you should have a plan for what that looks like for yourself, so you can live it as fast as you can. And I believe that is how you collapse time. We all share the same time. No one can speed time up. No one can slow time down. But you can collapse time if you know how you want to be in the future, how you want to be seen, recognized, show up for the world. If you know what you want that future self to be, you can be that today. And that's how you collapse time. Like with KITECH, our 10-year goal is to install 1,000 robots. Today, that's a daunting goal. But we have 10 years. And so between now and then, we get to make different moves. We get to try different things. We get to market and have different conversations all around getting to 1,000 robots. If we get to 1,000 robots in 5 years instead of 10 years, we've collapsed time around that goal. And now we can set another goal to work on collapsing time around. So I think that's one of the big things about time, is if you don't have that goal, how can you collapse time around it? So with building America's holding company, pretty much for the last year, I've built it in my head. I haven't been talking to other people about it. I haven't been putting it out there. But I have been building pitch decks on how I pitch it. The pitch deck I built that I've been selling for the last 2.5 months is all around KITECH automation, project tools, frontline flags, and formula done. Now, whether or not they know the pitch doesn't matter, because I know what I'm trying to accomplish. And my timeline is long enough that I can slowly work my plan rather than rushing it. It's all about having a plan. If you do not have a strategic plan, how do you make decisions day to day? I do not know. Sam, I do not know. So with that said, I'm at KITECH. I'm headed out to Nelson here in a little bit, and we will keep you updated on the journey. Have a great day, everybody.